Welcome back, everybody. I am Follygon, doing another sketch here in Nomad Sculpt. I'll be talking about the process here in just a moment, but of course, before I do, click that subscribe button if you are new around here, and if you're interested in learning more about digital sculpting, check out gumroad.com/Follygon for things like my courses, brushes, and materials. So in the past, I have not been a huge fan of this dynamic topology mode. I can't remember exactly what it's called here in this application in Nomad Sculpt, but in ZBrush, it is called Sculptress Pro. Essentially, what this dynamic topology mode does is as you sculpt on your geometry, on your digital clay, it updates the resolution of your form on the fly. So if you use a really small brush and create a really tiny brush stroke, it is going to give you a lot more resolution in that area, as opposed to if you were going to go over that with a really large brush. So in the past, I've been more of a fan of just being able to control the resolution of my form whenever I need it, but I've found here that I've started to like it a little bit more in Nomad. Now, it's not because Nomad does anything differently than Sculptress Pro mode in ZBrush. They're actually almost identical. If anything, you can get a little bit more powerful with the toolset in ZBrush because you can control the resolution of each individual brush and how it reacts with that mode. But it's just something that I haven't used very much. And I say very much, but I have used it quite a lot. But in comparison to my normal workflow, it's definitely not something that I touch very often. So I'm glad that I've been able to play around with it more. It might be something that I integrate more into my earlier stages for blocking out form. It is very nice and quick to just get some stuff on there and not really have to worry about geometry too much. I just want to be very careful with not getting too overly complex with my form too early. The reason why I like to have that manual control is so I can keep things a little bit more low res early on. It kind of acts as insurance, let's say, so that you don't get ahead of yourself. That way you can focus more on big shapes, large brush strokes, all that good stuff. But now, at least mentally, I'm at a place where I can kind of, keep better track of that. But earlier on, and if you're kind of new to sculpting, I recommend just maybe kind of avoiding this mode, at least for a block out purpose where you are trying to focus on creating those big strokes. Because it's very easy to get, focused on things that you don't really need to focus on, all those little nice forms that I'm creating around areas like the eyes. I'm adding in little volumes now. This kind of stuff is okay because I've developed the primary form, the silhouette, a little bit more. But early on, you can get caught up in that stuff and you can get really messy. Your sculpt looks terrible, it looks like an alien. Just a complete mess, and you don't really know where to go from there. So yeah, I'm really excited about this kind of Sculptress mode, or Dynatopo, whatever you want to call it. I want to be playing around with it a lot more, maybe use it in ZBrush a bit more in the future, maybe make a video specifically on that process and what that kind of looks like. But for doing quick sketches, it's really fun to play around with. It gives you a lot of freedom to kind of focus on what you're creating, get a little bit lost in, your sketch or, whatever you're sculpting. This is just something quick that I spend 30 minutes on. That's what I'm trying to do with all of these. Play around on my iPad a little bit more, get away from kind of the desktop mentality where I'm sitting at my desk sculpting. At least when I can do this, I can maybe chill on a nice chair or sit on the couch, get away from the desk, get away from the office, maybe go to a coffee shop, whatever it is. It's nice to just mentally get out of that space and just be sculpting for fun, like I said. I know I've been talking about the process in a lot of generals here, but I had a lot of fun working on these teeth. They were super simple to do. I just inserted a sphere into the mouth in the general shape of what I needed, and then I started building up that form for the individual teeth with some clay brushes, broke symmetry, started sketching on those more, pulling down and up on some different shapes with the move brush, and just started to fill in some of those gaps and play around with those shapes until they were in kind of a pretty nasty place, but overall, I thought it turned out pretty cool for just a quick sketch working on teeth. It is definitely something that I would do again in the future if I was just trying to create some very quick teeth to kind of represent that form without going in and creating each individual tooth. I've been finding a lot of those little things here with this application as I've had to do little shortcuts, let's say, to try to do what I would normally do in ZBrush, simply because I have much more control over there. So I'm having to be creative with some of my solutions, which is always, I think, a really great place to be to encourage creativity. Anytime you can limit yourself, I find that that is a great place where creativity thrives. But hey, that's going to be all for this quick little sketch. I hope you guys liked the little character that I created here. I'm not sure exactly what he is. He started off a little bit more feline, then went a bit more demon-y. then became a little bit of a djinn or genie at the end, with that curly form going up to the head. But hey, it's just a sketch. It exists to just get some ideas out of my head. Click that subscribe button if you guys are new around here. Check out gumroad.com/Follygon for brushes, courses, materials, all that good stuff, as well as some free goodies, and I will see you all in the next video.